Okui was a woman with big dreams. She had built her world on ambition, but somehow it never felt like home. She often told herself that emotions were distractions, that kindness made people weak. But the truth was, she didn't know what real connection felt like. Her life was well organized, yet emotionally silent. Then she met him. Her future husband wasn't the kind of man who stood out in a crowd. He wasn't loud, he wasn't rich, and he wasn't trying to impress anyone. But he carried something she hadn't seen in years: sincerity. There was warmth in the way he spoke, honesty in his smile, and gentleness in the way he listened. For the first time in a long time, Okui felt seen. Their first conversation wasn't about success or dreams. It was about simple things, favorite foods, family stories, quiet afternoons. And in that simplicity, she found something beautiful. She realized how much she had missed feeling safe, understood, and accepted for who she truly was. As their bond deepened, her fast-paced world began to slow down. She started noticing small details she once ignored. The morning light through her window, the sound of laughter, the comfort of silence shared between two people who trust each other. For the first time, ambition no longer defined her worth, love did. When they got married, Okui promised herself she would protect that peace. She wanted to be the kind of partner who cared deeply, listened sincerely, and loved quietly but wholeheartedly. Every morning, she'd wake up early to prepare breakfast, choosing her husband's favorite dishes. Every evening, she'd wait by the window, smiling when she saw him return from work. It wasn't a grand or dramatic love, but a peaceful one, built on understanding, patience, and gratitude. But love, even when it's steady, needs awareness to keep growing. And without realizing it, Okui began slipping into a comfortable routine. She focused so much on maintaining peace that she forgot to notice her husband's silent struggles, the long hours, the fatigue behind his gentle smiles, the weight he carried to keep their lives stable. Yet, he never complained. He continued to show up every day with quiet devotion, perhaps believing that protecting her from worry was his way of loving her. Then, one evening, everything changed. Her husband came home with a special guest, the director of his company. It was an unexpected dinner, and though Okui was nervous at first, she greeted the guest with warmth. The atmosphere was pleasant, filled with laughter and polite conversation. But as the director spoke, Okui began to see a side of her husband she had never noticed before. The director praised his dedication, how he stayed late at the office, how he solved problems that others couldn't, how he had quietly sacrificed personal time for the sake of the team. Each word struck Okui deeply. In that moment, she realized that the man she loved had been carrying more than she ever knew, and she hadn't been there to share that weight. Her eyes softened. Her heart ached, not from guilt, but from a sudden awakening. She had spent so much time trying to be a good wife on the surface, that she had forgotten to look deeper. And for the first time in years, Okui felt something she hadn't felt before, the urge to truly understand. Because love, she began to realize, isn't about perfection. It's about presence. That night, after the guests had left and the dishes were quietly stacked in the sink, Okui sat alone by the window. The sound of the clock ticking felt unusually loud. Her husband had gone to bed early, tired as always, but his peaceful face only made her heart heavier. She thought about what the company director had said about the long hours, the stress, the quiet dedication that her husband carried every single day without complaint. She remembered how often she would greet him with a smile, ask about his day, then quickly change the topic to something else, assuming everything was fine. She realized that love isn't only about smiling together during easy days. It's also about noticing when someone is silently struggling. Okui made a quiet decision. She would change, not because she felt guilty, but because she wanted to grow, for him and for herself. She began with small things. Instead of waiting for her husband to tell her about his day, she listened more carefully, observing the tone of his voice, the subtle sighs between his sentences. She added small notes in his lunchbox, reminders to smile, little thank yous for his efforts. And she started reflecting on her own life. What could she do to bring more balance, more understanding, and more contribution into their relationship? Okui felt that this wasn't only about money. It was about rediscovering purpose, about sharing responsibility. Okui began her quiet search. She eventually found a small job at a local bookstore, but she didn't tell him yet. She wanted it to be a surprise, something that showed her effort, not just her words. Some evenings, she returned home later than usual. The house felt quieter, emptier. Her husband would wait by the door, confused at first, wondering where she had gone. He didn't want to seem controlling, but he couldn't hide his worry. Every day after that, she worked harder. For the first time in a long time, she felt that she was not only loving, but giving. It was a sunny morning, and Okui hurried home. She was tired, but her heart felt light. When she arrived, something felt different. Her husband stood by the door, his face full of worry. The moment their eyes met, he let out a sigh of relief, a sound somewhere between joy and exhaustion. The room was filled with silence and the quiet connection between two souls who had just found each other again. Then, as if words were no longer needed, he wrapped his arms around her. It wasn't a grand gesture or a dramatic scene, just two people holding on, feeling the truth of what they had built. Their love wasn't new anymore. It had matured. It had weathered misunderstanding and found clarity. Their story reminds us all, cherish the simple moments, listen deeply, and keep learning together. Because in every relationship, love grows strongest when both hearts choose to understand, not just to feel.